Okay, it's 7 o'clock. So if everybody could make sure that their cell phones are silent.
No, this is the Planning Commission.
Okay. This is the Planning Commission meeting, June 19th. And if you can make sure your cell phones are silent, and if you want to speak on anything which is not on the agenda, please make sure you fill out the green forms outside and hand it over. Do we? Yes.
So,
Three commissioners are not present tonight, but we have a quorum. We have Runit is not here, and Phoebe, and John. Should we do the meeting minutes first, and then
No, public comments.
public comments first? Okay.
Just roll right through.
So do we have anybody who wants to speak on any item which is not on the agenda?
I didn't pull anything out. And I don't know if you did this last week.
That's okay. You can fill the card later.
Bill Boca gave 8 years of his life to the Planning Commission, and I just hope that you honored him in some way, because his passing is a real loss.
Could you state your name and
Name and
address for the
address.
record?
Yes, sir. My name is Abby Aarons. I'm homeless until the hotel is finished, but it will be 1 Main Street, Los Altos.
Did you reserve a room?
Abby, thank you very much for mentioning that. I was hoping, I spoke with David about it. I was so shocked to hear that Bill had passed away. And David, I thought you were going to send out a memo to commissioners about any service or anything regarding Bill's passing.
Well, I am. I haven't-
Working on
I
it.
haven't connected-
He's already gone, though, Dave.
I haven't connected.
Can you
Okay.
mic
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't heard
want
from
to finish
Patricia
talking about this for a
about any
second.
services.
I'm sorry?
I haven't heard from Patricia about any
About services. I personally would like to know if there are any services, and I would like to attend if the services are open to the public. And one last question, maybe Abby knows. Do you know how Bill passed away?
I don't know anything more than what was in the town crier, and frankly, he gave so much of his time and care.
Yeah.
He did that beautiful senior center building.
Right,
out
right.
Park and so many things in this town.
Right.
So it's just, it's
Yeah, I was.
it's an enormous loss.
Yeah, I was shocked to hear it. So, okay. Thank you very much.
Is there any other speaker? So we will close the public hearing.
So,
Planning and Transportation Commission meeting minutes. Does anybody have any comments on our meeting minutes?
I reviewed the draft and I didn't see any corrections, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I have
Aye.
to abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay, so aye.
Does that mean that we can't pass the minutes because we don't have a quorum?
Oh, no, we're good.
You good?
No, but if
A
he
majority of those
abstains.
present.
Okay,
Majority present.
okay.
All right, perfect. So, I'm sorry,
Here,
just moving along.
it's the public hearing.
Okay, so public hearing for 14-DL-01 and 14-UP-02. Do we have a staff report?
Yes, good evening, Madam Vice Chair and members of the Commission. This project before you is a 2-lot subdivision at 633 Almond Avenue. It also includes a use permit application because it is involving the creation of a new flag lot. So as shown in the tentative map, we are looking at Parcel A, which is a standard interior lot facing Almond Avenue with a minimum 80 feet of frontage. And then Parcel B is a flag lot, approximately 15,000 square feet in size, with a 20-foot flag corridor serving it. As shown on the parcel map or the tentative map, there is a shared access easement over that flag corridor, and the intent of that is to provide for a driveway for Parcel A as well. As you're probably aware, Almond Avenue with 2 schools on it is a busier thoroughfare, and so the goal here is to avoid creating another driveway facing Almond, but rather create one driveway to serve both of these properties. They did draw up the easement short of ending right at the boundary for Parcel B, and the goal of that was to allow, if Parcel B so desired, to have a gate and gate doors that swung out, and so that way there wouldn't be any conflict with that access easement if there were gates that did swing as opposed to slide. So that is the applicant's reason for showing the access easement going all but the last 10 feet of that flag corridor. So as noted in the staff report, there are findings for both the subdivision and for the use permit. Staff is recommending support of both. Also, as you probably observed when visiting the site and is included with the staff report, there are a number of trees both on the property and in the Almond Avenue right-of-way in front of the property. The arborist report did evaluate all these trees and noted that all are in moderate, fair to poor condition, and there weren't any mature trees that were prominent enough that staff specifically identified should be protected as a part of this subdivision. And so it is the assumption moving forward that any or all of these trees could be removed as part of future development. However, staff did add a condition that these trees are protected and would need either a tree removal permit or the design review approval of a new house, so we could review the placement of these trees in relation to any new 1- or 2-story house. The rear lot is limited to 1 story in height. The front lot could have a 2-story house if the future applicant owner so chose. So as shown in condition 7, the trees are protected, but that doesn't mean they're protected as part of the subdivision, just means that we would hold off on removing any until we better understand the future development there, but any or all could be removed.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Sure.
First of all, is the property currently inhabited?
I'll defer to the applicant. I believe someone is living there, but
I went there.
Yes, I met the lady that's living there.
Oh, okay, I went there and no one answered, so the person must have been away or something. Okay.
Single woman, yes.
Secondly, is it code that there can't be a second story on the rear house?
yeah,
That's code.
the code for new flag lots is that you can't have more than 1 story or 20 feet in height. And the basis being that they are surrounded by other side and rear yards, and so there would be a greater privacy impact for 2 stories on a flag lot. So, yeah, this R110 district, this flag lot is limited to a 1-story structure.
Okay.
So what's before us is just that we're going to divide this property into 2 different parcels, and that's it. As far as the buildings and everything else, that'll go in front of the Design
That's a whole
Commission.
different-
That's a
that's
whole
different.
design. We're just
Yeah.
here to say, is it okay that we...
Yes.
Yeah, the process in Los Altos is it separates, you won't review design as part of a subdivision.
fine.
If it's 1 story, it would stay at the staff level. If it's 2 story, it would go to the Design Review Commission.
Okay.
The only, when you're talking about the trees, and I know where we are, I think it's, looking at this subdivision, this tentative map, it looks like number 4. That's a redwood tree.
That is correct.
And when I looked at that, I thought, well, that's going to be a sticky wicket. That's right where I would want to put a house.
Are you referring to tree, well, number 4 is actually located in the rear yard setback of parcel A. Are you referring to tree 7? But that's
Well,
that's a
it's either 4 or 7. It's in front of the existing house now, so I couldn't
7.
tell.
So
Maybe
tree,
7.
well, tree number 4 is a redwood. It's the most prominent tree
Okay,
on the
that's the
site.
one then. That's the, yeah.
And that tree is actually located toward what will be a new rear property line within the rear yard setback. And so the
Okay.
placement of that tree, actually, it's primed to be preserved. And, I mean, if
Okay.
we want to specifically identify it in the arborist report, it does give it a condition of 85, so it is considered
Yeah,
a
because
healthy redwood tree.
I agree, yeah. That's the only one I could see that.
So I just have a quick question regarding the trees. In the conditions, I know that you're saying that the trees are protected, but once the subdivision is granted, whoever comes in to develop, they will be able to remove these trees and relocate them with coordination with the staff. Not relocate, but replant accordingly.
Yeah, once the subdivision
not as
is
if that-
approved.
They won't be able to
Well, I think it
remove.
depends. If it's the redwood tree, maybe not, but
Yeah, no, I'm talking about where they're showing the footprint of the house right now.
Yes, right now you have, I mean, primarily you look
Setbacks.
at the building envelope for parcel A. Tree number 7 is a pepper, it's in poor health, moderate to poor health. Tree 10, 6, and 5 all potentially would be removed as part of a development application. So once this map is approved,
Got it.
they would be protected like any other tree according to our tree protection regulations, but they wouldn't be prohibited from moving it if they came in with a design and it worked with the site.
But that is a good point to raise in considering this application.
Yeah.
I mean, tree number 4 in the back will certainly be protected like all trees in Los Altos are protected, but I mean, there is a reasonable expectation that 5, 6, 7, and 10 will be removed because they're being approved within the building footprint.
The only reason I'm asking is that if we approve this and somebody goes ahead and develops it, they will be able to remove it, right? I mean, it's not as if it becomes a issue later on. I'm just curious.
I don't think
on
we're
that.
we're not approving the trees at all today, are we?
The trees are sort of
It's
like a
one of the
separate subject.
conditions.
They're like a separate subject, they're not
like-
part of
Yeah.
this.
Right, no, that's
It is
that's
part of the
true.
condition, number
But I mean,
7.
it is reasonable to understand that if this map gets approved, those four trees are within the building footprint, so.
And the only reason I have no issues with it, I'm just asking, because it is a condition in there, that if we go ahead and approve something and somebody comes in and designs something within that footprint, just for my knowledge, will they be allowed,
Those
right?
trees would have to,
Yeah, they
I
will
think
be.
Probably,
Okay, I hear you.
they will be,
That's
but
all
they'll
I'm
probably be required to put other kinds of
Yeah.
landscaping in to
That's good.
compensate.
I just wanted to know, it's not as if that now they have to try and figure out how to design around those four trees.
No.
No, I mean,
Just
condition
curious.
7 says that they can go to the city and they have to get it approved, that they're going to remove the trees to do whatever they're going to do. So I assume that's just the normal process for anybody who says they're going to.
Yeah,
Build.
if say tree 10 was a very mature, healthy oak tree, we would have worked with the applicant to design the building envelope around that tree to ensure that that tree was protected.
Okay?
Is there enough room for a car to pull into a garage for parcel B? It looks like the building envelope is fairly close. Is that going to be enough room?
So for parcel A, if you had a garage right at your 10-foot setback, you also have 20 feet of the flag lot. So in essence, you're going to get a backup area of at least 25 feet,
Not
depending on
part-
how wide that driveway
I
is.
may have misspoken. I didn't mean parcel A. I meant parcel B.
Oh, parcel B?
Yeah. So you'll come in that driveway, right? And then, so somehow you have to have a garage or something that you put the car into.
Yeah, you would most likely have it somewhere along that front setback line. So you would have at least 25 feet of backup area. For a standard commercial parking lot, a backup area of 24 to 26 feet will work. So you would most likely have some sort of hammerhead configuration where the driveway would go past the garage so that a car could pull in and then back out and leave. And so
Okay.
typically, a front yard setback of 25 feet gives you enough room to do that.
Okay.
But right now, they're just showing the setback lines for this property.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
not-
building envelope line.
Yeah,
It's not-
so it's not
I'm
as,
just
So
wondering
the
if it's enough, given that it's a flag lot, and you're saying that that's standard for standard parking lot.
And since a flag lot, it's a minimum lot size of 15,000 square feet, so you can see it's got a much larger building envelope. So you could conceivably set the garage off of that front property line by another 5 or 10 feet if they needed additional space for backup from the garage.
And that's what the Architectural Design Review Committee would look at, right? Whenever they decide whatever this house is going to look like.
Well, in this case, for parcel B, since it's only going to be a one-story, this would be, this design review would be done at the staff level.
Yeah, that's.
So you guys would look at it, somebody's going to look at it. My point is, we don't have to decide there's enough room.
Right, I just want to make sure that someone thought of that when they.
Sure.
They put the building envelope there, that's all. Sounds like they did, so that's fine.
Well, when I first moved into Los Altos in 1980, I lived in a flag lot just like this, and I loved it. It's actually quite private. You would think the opposite, but if you have a fence around you, I got to know all my neighbors, but it's a very private lot. It's kind of nice. And because there's a minimum size of 15,000 feet, it's bigger than neighbors. I mean, I had a swimming pool, an extra little house back there, putting green, it was perfect.
so should we have any public comments, or if you have
No,
any
no, the
questions?
applicant needs to speak.
Yeah, the applicant, and then we can make the discussions later on.
Right.
If you can introduce yourself again and the green card. Thank you.
Abby Aarons, Abigail Residence, Romantique, 329 South San Antonio Road, Los Altos. You actually got two Abbeys on this project. An incredibly good builder, and I have represented Deb Blackburn, who is the owner of this property, whose sons have grown, headed off to college, and she is just drowning in space. And the time has come. And Quite honestly, I tried to save the house. Abby and I worked really hard to see if there was a way to save it, but the brick facade made it impossible. The fact that a lot of it was slab. So with a little bit of reluctance, but a lot of pleasure in creating two beautiful new homes for Los Altos that will be considerate of the neighbors. I think that's about what we can say. Abby times 2. We're on it.
Do we have any questions for the applicant? Thanks. Any public comments? None? Close the public hearing. Now we can open the floor for discussions, if there are any.
I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
Want me to make a motion?
Oh, did I get a chance?
Oh, I thought you, I'm sorry, yes, you do, absolutely.
No, I think this is very reasonable. I have no problem with this. So I'm happy to support it.
Do you have
Same.
any comments? Same here. So anybody would like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we, get my glasses on so I can see it, that we approve,
We recommend, right? We approve it, or do we recommend it?
do we approve, or,
We recommend approval.
We recommend approval.
Little English it.
Well, I'm just looking at the recommendation of what we're supposed to do.
let me get the, I don't have the.
Right there?
I would like to recommend that we approve, and I can't find the one that has.
14 DL01.
Division of land and use permit applications, 14 DL1 and
You know, you take
14
me out of the.
POT to
Okay,
the
here you
city
go.
council.
I got it, okay. That we approve 14 DL-1 and 14 UP-2, 633 Almond Avenue, per the conditions set by staff.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right?
Passes anonymously. Good luck. Okay. Do we have any?
Commissioners' report and comments?
Yes, I went, I think, to the earlier one, and you went just recently, right? There were two
I haven't gone.
meetings. Okay.
Jerry's going to go in my place.
No, I'm going to go next week, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
Well-
haven't seen the agenda yet, so I'm assuming there'll be something on there.
I was not physically present, but I heard a very long council meeting, which was, they had the presentation for the new development they're thinking of doing here. And I will be looking at staff to chip in if I missed anything, but it was very long. I try to see what would affect us, and so far in all the discussions, it wasn't anything which was coming to Planning Commission. But it was interesting to know where the project was headed and what kind of questions were coming in. But as far as I know, there was nothing that was, at least for now, concerning us, I believe.
No, I don't think so. The report was really just a summary of the last, 6 months of outreach we've been doing. The project was defined last year when City Council moved to abandon the entire master plan and move forward with a new community center at this stage, and making sure that the community center was in what they're calling the southeast quadrant of the site, which is a very doable project, and then leaving these buildings intact and maybe doing some circulation and parking improvements. And so the primary debate is whether, parking should be below grade or above grade regarding affordability, and whether a swim center can fit with the soccer fields and the Little League fields. So it's the project has already been largely defined, and we're just moving forward with finalizing the master plan.
And when you say the southeast quadrant, you mean where?
Where the Hillview and the
School
soccer
is?
fields are currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a conscious decision when the master plan wasn't successful for the entire 18 acres, just to replace Hillview, which is our most pressing need, and do it over there where these buildings can be retained for the time being.
And there was just discussion on the impact with the school there, whatever gets decided, to let them know earlier on, and that was basically it. Any other commission meetings? Is there anything that you want to discuss?
Well, I'd like to know, last meeting we talked about the parking restriping. And I'm not sure, I know, Zach, you sent us what what you kind of heard from us, and then we gave it back to you, but I'm not sure what goes next.
So I just wanted to, that draft I sent, I wanted to make sure that I'd encapsulated all of the comments and edits that the commission was recommending. So really the next step is to bring that draft policy to council for final consideration, and that'll happen probably sometime later this summer, early fall. We'll just have to find an open agenda for council to consider it.
That's got to be the most controversial subject in all of Los Altos right now. You've got the downtown owners, you've got the Chamber of Commerce, you've got Friends of Los Altos, you've got, I mean, you name the group, and they have an opinion on what we should do with parking. I mean,
So it'll be a fun meeting.
And I get called by every single one of them. You too? So,
I'm the
Anyway.
lucky one then. Okay,
everyone has an opinion.
so is there anything else we would like to discuss?
So you're going to chair the shortest meeting ever?
No, actually, you did last time.
I think
That was the
the,
shortest. This is 20 minutes, you were 10.
I think maybe we should wait until everyone's here, but I think the Planning Commission should at least make a comment about Bill Bocook. I don't know that you guys actually knew Bill, but I sat with him on the
I've heard
commission
of him a
for
lot.
6 years.
He was on my first year here.
Yeah, absolutely terrific guy, and he's an architect.
Yes.
And really a real gentleman.
I didn't know he was in ill health, because when he left, he was fairly healthy.
That's why I asked Abby, because I've seen him around several times, and he seemed fine to me. He looked exactly the same as when he left. And you guys don't seem to know what happened to him. No. Okay. But anyway, I really enjoyed working with Bill. It was a real pleasure.
That means
It was-
Phoebe and John Bear know him well, too.
They
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Phoebe was the one that told me.
Yeah.
And so.
So we
anyway.
want to have something in the minutes that says that we want to
Yeah, I think we
acknowledge
should have
passing
something,
and
in
that
this. We would like to acknowledge Bill Bocook for his years of service, and
and is unfortunate.
yeah.
And then David said that he'll let us know.
And you're going to
when
let
he
us know
hears.
if there's any kind of an announcement about a public a service that the public can attend. Okay, thank you. That's all. Good job.
Close the
Alka.
meeting.
That is a record.
Yours was, actually,
10
yours
minutes?
was 10 minutes, I remember. Jerry.